Leather jackets, brooding stares, and just enough danger to make your mother worry. The bad boy has been a staple of cinema for nearly a century. You know him when you see him. He's not the polished prince. He's the guy your parents warned you about. The bad boy look isn't just fashion, it's cultural shorthand. And today, we're going to talk about how it evolved from rebellious greasers to tortured space lords. But before we get into all of that, hey friends, my name is DMARI. Welcome to my channel. Please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload. And also like this video if you liked it. And make sure to let me know down in the comments which bad boy is your favorite. So, if we're talking cinematic bad boys, it all starts with Marlon Brando in The Wild One. Black leather jacket, jeans, biker cap, a scowl that could curdle milk. When someone asked this character, "What are you rebelling against?" Brando famously replied, "What do you got?" And that moment defined the rebel look forever. Then came James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause. He swapped leather for a red windbreaker, but the message was the same: misunderstood youth, restless energy, and hair perfectly tousled by angst. Dean's look was less biker gang and more "I'm sad but photogenic." And honestly, teenagers everywhere have been copying it ever since. The 1950s bad boy wasn't just a character, he was a cultural shockwave. These clothes meant something. Leather jackets and jeans seemed like working class rebellion in post-war America obsessed with conformity. By the 60s and 70s, the bad boy grew up and got a little scruffier. Take Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name, a poncho, a hat pulled low, stubble for days. He wasn't just dangerous, he looked like he hadn't showered in 3 weeks, but audiences ate it up. The dusty, lawless drifter became his own brand of sexy. Meanwhile, the crime world gave us a new bad boy aesthetic. Sharp suits with menace. Think Al Pacino in The Godfather of 1972, and later Scarface. Suddenly, the bad boy was stylish, glamorous even, but make no mistake, these suits were blood-stained. And then John Travolta in Grease of 1978 brought the 50 Greasers back for a musical makeover. Danny Zuko had leather, slick hair, and attitude, but softened with singing, dancing, and let's be honest, some very tight pants. It was rebellion packaged for nostalgia and date nights. So the 60s and 70s gave us two extremes: gritty drifters who needed a bath, and mobsters in three-piece suits who could buy and sell your future. But either way, the bad boy was expanding his wardrobe. Enter the 80s and 90s, where the bad boys got a little prettier. Take Tom Cruise in Top Gun of 1986. Bomber jackets, aviators, cocky grin. Maverick wasn't dangerous in a knife fight in the alley kind of way, but he was dangerous in a flies a 30 million jet with a death wish way. The uniform gave him authority, but the attitude made him reckless. And then there's Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing of 1987. Black tank tops, leather jacket, moody smirks. He wasn't a criminal, he was a dance instructor, but the forbidden romance, nobody puts baby in a corner, turned him into the ultimate dangerous but dateable bad boy. And if you want a pure parody turned fashion statement, look at Johnny Depp in Crybaby of 1990. It was a satire of the 1950s greaser, but Depp leaned into the leather, eyeliner, and the pout, and suddenly the bad boy look wasn't just threatening, it was hot. This era romanticized the bad boy, tough enough to break rules but soft enough to fall in love, basically dangerous, but safe enough to bring home to your parents if you swore he was different. By the 2000s, audiences craved something darker. Enter the era of brooding, quiet, and sometimes unhinged bad boys. There's Damon Salvatore from The Vampire Diaries. He's sarcastic, dangerous, and smirks like he knows every secret in the room. And let's be honest, for a lot of people, he was the ultimate bad boy crush of the 2010s. Even in the originals, Klaus Michelson kept that magnetic, tortured leather jacket energy alive. This was the era of the bad boy who was toxic but just redeemable enough that you thought, yeah, I can fix him. And we can't forget Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl. Arrogant, scheming, always in a three-piece suit, but somehow still the most talked about and sometimes adored bad boy on TV. And then there's Robert Pattinson. Messy hair, pale skin, smoldering stares. He made the goth bad boy mainstream, convincing an entire generation that brooding vampires who sparkle are the ultimate romantic danger. The hoodie, the long coat, the perpetual look of existential pain, all essentials in the bad boy starter pack. Today's bad boy has shifted again. He's dangerous, but now he's complicated and even vulnerable. Timothy Chalamet is practically the poster child of the soft bad boy look. Messy hair, slim silhouettes, and lots of black. He looks like he writes poetry and definitely won't text you back, and audiences can't get enough of him. Adam Driver's Kylo Ren takes the emo bad boy to intergalactic levels. Black robes, a lightsaber that looks like it might explode any moment, and the personality of a man who listens to My Chemical Romance in the shower. Dangerous, but tortured. And then there's Jacob Elordi in Euphoria, the modern toxic jock bad boy. He's got the athletic gear, the swagger, and the simmering rage, and unlike earlier eras, he's not pretending to be safe. He's pure red flag energy, and yet everybody is obsessed. So today, the bad boy aesthetic is less about leather jackets and more about attitude, vulnerability, and danger mixed with a wardrobe that says I would ruin your life, but you'd probably let me. So from Brando's biker jackets to Pattinson's vampire chic and Kylo Ren's emo space robes, the bad boy look has never gone out of style. It keeps reinventing itself. He's dangerous, magnetic, and just rebellious enough to keep us hooked. Because at the end of the day, the bad boy isn't just a character, he's a fantasy, and fashion has always been his weapon of choice.